Welcome back, my friends. My name is Dushyant and I am the CEO and co-founder of 3touchpoints, a full-service web analytics consulting firm based out of Pennsylvania, USA. First of all, I would like to welcome you all in a first and exclusive blog series on optimizing your e-commerce business using your in-house web analytics solution. Secondly, all of you who are new to this series, I would highly recommend checking out our previous blog posts and videos on our website conversionpath.typepad.com. Now, let's jump on to our next topic of this week, which is another interesting question raised to me by an e-commerce manager working with a leading apparel brand in the North America market. And his question was, we don't have control on our analytics implementation. How should we keep an eye on the analytics team and make sure that they are maintaining the consistency over time? This question has raised to me multiple times by those e-commerce players who have either outsourced their e-commerce operations to an external e-commerce service provider, or they have a huge development team fragmented across multiple locations serving multiple departments. Most of the e-commerce players I have worked in the past raised this concern that they were highly involved during their initial analytics implementation, but somehow they were kept out of loop after the initial implementation was done. When this concern was validated, it was found to be true. The reason behind this was still a decent percentage of e-commerce players in the industry working in collaboration with an external e-commerce service provider. Treat analytics as any other product on the platform. Once the initial implementation is done, most of these players take a sigh of relief and assumes they are good for the lifetime. But this is one of the big mistakes these players make, because unless and until analytics gets ingrained into the organizational processes, they can't extract the best out of their analytics implementation. If you ask these e-commerce players exactly after 12 months of implementation is done, what are the top 3 problems with their existing analytics implementation, you would get some of the really funny responses. Number 1, well, first of all, we don't have visibility into what sections or what features on the site are tagged or not tagged. Number 2, our conversion numbers are not consistent anymore, and it seems like the site upgrade project we did 4 to 5 months ago broke our existing implementation. Number 3, it seems like the project team who worked on the initial implementation didn't have a good understanding of the site structure, as a result of which they didn't write the perfect business rules. If you validate the above responses for your organization, you would find that it was neither due to incapable or inefficient resources in the project team, nor due to incorrect selection of an analytics solution, but it was due to inability of an e-commerce organization to ingrain analytics into their organization or software development lifecycle process. If you are among those e-commerce players who have outsourced their e-commerce or analytics operations to an external e-commerce service provider, or have a fragmented analytics team serving multiple departments across the world, here are some tips to maintain the data integrity and keep the technology and business team focused on analytics. Number 1, any project which may impact the online visitor experience should be accompanied with relevant analytics tags. This is really important. Number 2, make sure every project template in your organization should have analytics section included in it. Here are the 5 standard questions you should be asking your project initiator before submitting the project. Number 1, what business questions you are trying to get answered through this project? Number 2, what are the key metrics to gauge the performance?